Hey guys, it's Amy at Zoe Beck, and I'm going to do something a little different. This is something I want to it's kind of like starting what I want to do in 2020. So, I think I've pulled 12 books off my shelf that are the oldest books on my TBR. So, this was kind of eye-opening. I knew that some of these books had been on there a really long time, but I hadn't realized how long ago some of these came from. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go through them, and these books are ones I would like to pick up. I mean, hopefully I'll pick up one approximately a month. I mean, like a couple of these I won't pick up during the big readathons that I do, like that are monthly ones, so I might have to double up on some months. But at least I want to make a dent on these. These are the oldest books on my TBR. And embarrassingly as this is going to sound, one of them is almost, it is like been on my TBR probably for about 28 years. So, well, this will date me. Okay, let's just get that out of the way and just say, you know, I'm probably older than you think. Or not, or you already know. No problem. So we'll just start. So, now this copy I did not have. So this physical book is the only one that's not one that's the same book that I've had on my shelves for years. I actually exchanged this book back in the day. Well, back in the day. What am I talking about? The one I had back in the day was like a huge chunkin'. It was a mass market paperback, but it was huge, and it was falling apart when I got it from a used bookstore. And I've been carrying it around for years, clearly, because I had not finished it yet. So I decided to get a copy from my library, from a book sale, one of the book sales at the library. And so I got a new copy of The Name of the Rose by Umberto Eco. This was, translated by, from the Italian from William Weaver. So I started this book back when I was in high school. So I'm going to put this down. I'm going to be nice to myself and just guess it was my senior year, but I don't think it was. I don't remember what year it was. But I'm going to say 92 at this point. Anyway, so I've had a copy of this on my shelf since at least 1992. Yeah, okay. So this is one of my high priority books for 2020, because clearly I didn't get it done this year. So, again, this is a historical fiction about 1327, and some monks call in kind of what their investigator is like, because some people are dying under mysterious circumstances. And so this follows the brother William, who comes, and I think he has like an assistant with him. And again, I saw the movie with Sean Connery and Christian Slater probably about that time for the first time, which is probably why I picked up the book, because yeah, I had a thing for Christian Slater back in the day. Anyway, so, but the mystery in that is what I wanted to read. So I do want to get to this. So this is the oldest book on my bookshelves that I have not read. And my goal is to at least get this one done next year. Hold me to it. Anyway, so that's number one, the oldest. And then I have 4 books that I bought during college. And I don't know the specific years. I'm going to put these all at the end of college. So we're going to say 97, because that's when I graduated. And so we'll just kind of say I bought them that year. I don't think I did. But these are the ones I bought sometime during the school year. During my my years in college. So one of them is Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. So I've tried to read this book 3 times. I'm going to give it one more shot this year. Maybe Victober, maybe before that. I bought an audiobook for this recently, so I'm going to probably attempt that. I cannot read it. This last time I only made it, where's my little sticky note here? I made it to page 31. I have not made it very far. I have not liked the style of this so far. So again, I think everybody knows what Wuthering Heights is. But as I said, it's one of those books that I feel like I need to read for my classics brain. Just thinking I should be reading this. But so far I have not enjoyed it. So I'm going to try the audiobook this year. But I've had this book on my shelf since at least 97. Another book I picked up was The Man in the High Castle by Philip K. Dick. I took a science fiction class. And this is one of the books that was not on our list that we had to read, but it was a book that my teacher recommended. And I bought it because I did enjoy the experience of reading Do Androids Sleep, or Dream of Electric Sheep. And I wanted to read more of him. And again, this is the alternate history one where the U.S. lost the war, and so Germany and Japan have split up the U.S., I believe. And again, there's a TV show. No, I've not watched the TV show. I've never even looked at it because I knew I hadn't read the book. So again, another book that's been on my shelf for years that I need to read. It's again, science fiction, alternate history. I need to read that. I also have bought a copy of As I Lay Dying by William Faulkner. Faulkner I did not read in college except for a short story. I think it was called Barn Burner. And then I really liked the movie. Oh, it went right out of my head. There's a movie with, yeah, I'm not going to remember. Had Paul Newman and Joanne Woodward in it, and I love that movie. And Orson Welles, I think, was in that too. Love that movie. Can't think of it right now to save my life, but it was based off some of his other short stories, or some of his other novels. But I picked up As I Lay Dying because it was, again, what a teacher said, this is where I should start. Is that true? Do you think this is the novel I should start with Faulkner? Let me know. But this is the oldest one I have on my shelf. I have a few others that I bought later. I don't know the dates on those, but this one I know I bought when I was in college. So, so I should try some Faulkner, I guess. I just haven't read anything since then. And then the last one from college is Portrait of a Lady by Henry James. Again, another recommendation from one of my teachers. I think I read, it looks like I looked like I was going to start it, but I didn't. But the reason I know I bought this around, I got it around the time the movie came out, I think, or right before that. And then I was going to read it, and somehow I got a bookmark from that movie. I really love that movie, I must tell you. So I've always wanted to read the book, and I never have. I know I read part of it, and then I stopped. But again, I haven't marked here what I read anymore. But I still have the bookmark, which is hilarious. I didn't realize I had that until I just opened that. So this is, again, about Isabel. She's an American who goes to Europe, kind of like for a tour kind of thing. So she's not looking to get married. She's actually rejected people before, and then she kind of gets caught in this web of some people who are not quite what they seem, and it kind of goes downhill for a little while after that. Anyway, but it's talking about her struggles and stuff. So I'm looking forward to reading this as well. Again, it's pretty chunker though. Ooh, it's over almost 600 pages, but it's one, again, been on my list forever. So then I have a few books that I'm not sure when I bought them, but I know it was after college. So I bought this kind of beat up version of Snow Country by Sunyara Kawabata, I think. Anyway, so again, recently I've seen some other people read this here on BookTube, and it made me remember I had it. Oh, I did buy this. I bought this. It does look like it was bought there. The bookmark is from a bookstore. I don't even know if it still exists. It was right close to where I lived at the time. Actually, it might still be there, but I haven't been over there in years. So, but it was that time. It was before 2001. Let's just put it that way. So, I'm gonna guess 99 about. I don't know, but I just said it's Japanese literature. I don't actually know what year. It was 57. And I don't even know if it gives, translated from Japanese by Edward G. Sidensticker. Anyway, so that's another one I was looking for. I don't know anything about this. It's about a geisha, I guess. Or geisha. How do you say that word? I don't know. And then there's two books here that I bought when I worked at Walden Books. I worked there in the late 90s and 2000. To 2001 a little bit. And so I picked up Blindness at some point by Jose Saramago. Oh, I can't say that. Saramago. I know people were telling me to pick this up and read when I was working there. This is translated from the Portuguese by Giovanni Portero. So I've never read this. So I just know it has something to do with some illness or something that people are going blind, I think. So I don't know anything about this. I guess I've heard there's actually kind of a sequel to it, like that came later, but I bought this when it came out. And as I said, I'm pretty sure it was 99 when it came out in paperback. So I bought it probably right around there because everybody was talking about it. And I guess it's winner of the Nobel Prize for Literature. So anyway, it's one of those ones I haven't got to yet. And then I bought this horror book, The Living Blood by Tanarivu. I can't remember how to say that name. Sorry about that. That was really bad. So I showed this in a video, I think last January or December when I did that top 80 I wanted to read, which I'll do an update on that. Didn't go so well. But this was one, and someone says, that's book number 2. So I have picked up book number 1, My Soul to Keep. And I just saw that that Elizabeth at Books and Pieces on her book club on Goodreads, the Lady Vaults. They're doing this, I think, in February. I'm not sure which, I can't remember which month it was. It might be February. But anyway, I'm gonna read this then, and then I can read the book that I bought because it sounded so fascinating. What it is it's a woman and a guy, well, is with this man who seems to is an immortal. And then something happens when they're together, and then this is the consequence of what happens in this book. So I can't read this yet, even though this is the book I've had since either 1999 or 2000. I can't remember on this one. I probably should have checked my dates before I started this. 2001. So this is one I bought right before I left, probably, working there. But I know I bought it when I was still there. So anyway, so I'm going to read this one first, and then this one might not happen in the same year, but you never know. But at least I'll make progress. So the point is, I bought the second book. I can't believe I did that. I thought I was getting better at that back then. Anyway. And then I have a couple of books that I bought. Next book I know I bought in 2002, which was Lemurs by Victor Hugo. This I bought at Borders because I found the receipt in here. And I'm pretty sure it said it was 2002. Oh, 2003. I apologize. Anyway, close enough. This was translated from the French by somebody, Norman Denny. So, I don't know version-wise if this is a good one. This is just the one I picked up at Borders at the time. So it's the chunker. It's one I want to get to now that I've read one of his other books. I definitely want to pick this up now. It's chunky. And then I have a book. I have two books that are I bought one out of the country. This is from a Buick 8 by Stephen King. This is one of the few Stephen Kings that I own that I have not read. I don't know why I've never picked this up. I don't know a lot about it, except that it has a car on it. And I bought this when I was visiting the UK. I went to Ireland in 2003. So I'm guessing this is about the same time as the Les Miserables. But I bought this there, and I just wanted to buy one. I bought a couple books. I read the other ones, I got rid of them. But this is one I bought and I didn't read, and I don't know why. It's been on my shelf for a long time. It's really big print though, you know. So I should really read this. As I said, this is Stephen King. I like Stephen King. I've read most of the stuff. I've not read all the new stuff, but you know, as I said, I pick it here and there. But this is one I've just bypassed, even though I've owned it for all that time. And then another book that's probably the newest of all these books. I have one more book I want to show you, but I don't know the date on that one. But I'm guessing it's from at this time. I'm not sure, but I'm going to put it on that list. But the other one I bought this in Australia when I was there in 2005, I believe. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is 5. Yes. So this is Kafka on the Shore by Haruki Murakami. I've read a lot of his books. I've not read all of them. I still have quite a couple of the chunkers left to complete, but I do definitely want to pick up this one this year. I love the kitty cat on the cover, which is why I bought this one. I didn't want to wait. At the time, it was in the US, we did not have a paperback version. It was only hardback, and I wasn't going to buy it. But when I was there, I found the paperback, so I bought the paperback, and I've had it this whole time. And I still haven't read it. I did read, I read at least 40 or 50 pages of it the day I got this, because I had to wait for my friend who I was there visiting. She was doing something else, and I'd gone into Sydney and done a few things, and I picked up this book. And so I went to a cafe and I did read for a little bit. But I didn't pick it up again because I read something else on the flight home, and then I put it on my shelf and didn't get to it. So I still have that. So I really want to read that this year. And then the only other book that's kind of the end one, the one I'm not sure when I bought, but I know that because it came out in the early 2000s. Oh no, it came out in the late 90s. And I know I didn't buy it in the 90s. I waited for paperback. Yeah, it came out in 98. So I'm sure the paperback version came out another year later, but I did not buy it while I was working at Walden's. I bought it used many years later, but I still think it was the early 2000s when I bought it, but it's the instance of The Fingerpost by Ian Pierce. So I had this book on my shelf for years, and when I moved back from California this last time, my dad somehow got this on his shelf. And then I knew we had it because I saw it on his shelf going, how did you get my book? He must have borrowed it and I forgot. I don't remember how that worked. Anyway, so I got it back from him. So I really do need to read this. And this is a mystery book. As I said, I didn't really explain all these books, but you know, they're all old. Maybe you guys know. I don't know. But this is another book I would like to hit. I don't know. A lot of these are chunkers. A lot of these, as I said, have been on my shelves for years. I did not go farther back than that. So I figure I did almost, you know, that was over a 10-year period. That was 10 years and a couple of years. Anyway, for probably about 13 years. A book, those are the books that are still left on my shelf that I know of for sure. Like there's a couple books that I'm kind of iffy on that, I might have had that a long time, but I'm not sure. There's a lot you can't see from here, but I have a lot of urban fantasy that I do not know when I got half of those. So there could be some of those that are in this time period too, but most of the older ones I'd read, I think there's a lot that I picked up later. So, but I'll be doing, you know, try chapter tags with all those this year as well. Because I tried to do that this year. I only did it twice. I need to do it more often. But these were all the books. I can't do the big stack because there's so many. But these are all the books that I would like to get to in 2020 at some point. I'm hoping just to get all these really older books off my TBR. And then, as I said, I'm trying to work on books that are newer books too, but I really want to focus on finishing some of these, or getting to these books that I may have started and didn't complete a long time ago, or just never picked up, even though I've had them for obviously decades. So anyway, have you guys read any of these books? I'm sure everybody's read them but me. Is there any of them that you think I should pick up sooner rather than later, or that I really should focus on? Let me know. And what is your oldest book on your TBR? I laughed when I saw some other people do this. And they're talking about like books that are 2 or 3 years old, and I'm choking because clearly my books, most of these are like 20 years and older. There's a couple that are less than that, but not very many. But again, yeah, anyway, so let me know what's your oldest book on your shelf, and I will see you guys later. Bye.